What's up, YouTube family? I'm back at the drawing table. Welcome to my channel. For those who've been here before, welcome back. Today, we're just going to get right into it. We are going to be talking about hands and getting you ready to start drawing hands. So, I'm going to kind of go over the structure of drawing hands. So, let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the cylinder. So, this is a cylinder. This is essential for you to be able to draw hands effectively. Now, this represents the fingers, right? So you want to be able to draw cylinders. And also, the thing that you want to think about when you're drawing a cylinder for the fingers is it has to taper in. See how it gets smaller as it goes up. You look at your fingers, the base is thicker than the top. Right? Now, what you want to learn with cylinders is you want to learn how to draw them at different angles in space. Like what I'm doing here. The other thing that you want to know is how to draw them in like some of these more extreme foreshortened ways. Because this is going to help you when it comes time for you to draw like fingers coming at you like this. You know? Now, the next thing you want to be able to do with cylinders is connect them. So you have a cylinder, got that one, you want to be able to come right up on it, draw another cylinder coming right off of that cylinder. And then another one coming off of that one. And then this one is going to be modified because it's the top. Right? And if you connect these, you start to get something that looks more like a finger. Now if we erase a few lines, we got a finger starting to happen here. Right? Now we're going to move on to the cube. So your quick cube. Now, obviously, our hand is not a cube, right? Because it's not it's wide on this side, but it's thin from this direction, right? So what we want to do is cut this cube in a third, like this, right? So now we got something that looks more like this, right? And you want to, just like the cylinder, you want to start to learn how to move this shape in space as well. This is going to help you with the base of your hands. And also, is going to help you with like your hand directions, like the ways the hand would be pointed. Right, so you want to be able to move those in space. Now, next thing that I want you to think about with the cube when you think about the hand is, say you have, this is a side view, right? Next, I want you to add a slope to this, right? So I want to think about it being like a wheelchair ramp, right? And the reason I want you to think about it this way is if you look at your hand, right? Let's look at my hand. My knuckle is back here. And then this arch right here, this webbing arch is way up here. So if I was to take this marker and draw a line from here to here, you see that? See how high up that is from the knuckle, right? So when you think about your fingers, you want to think about them coming out of this slope. That's what they do. They come out of this slope, this connection point. It's your knuckle. So knuckle, right? And then this point down here is the webbing, right? And so the next finger, the next section of the finger, and then the last section of the finger, right? And each one of those connection point creates another knuckle. Okay. Now the other thing you want to think about the wrist. The wrist, because you have your hand straight. See how like my wrist is higher, right? So it's actually up a little higher like this. So those are some things that you want to think about, right? So with this slope, you have your modified cube shape, right? With this slope in front of it. So you just stick those together. Now, all right, now that we understand these two things, let's kind of construct a hand, right? So before we construct the hand, we want to look at the hands and see how we can further modify some things to make it fit a hand, right? So first off, we want to look at our hand and notice how wide it is here versus here, right? So a mistake that a lot of people make is they draw just a square and they don't think about modifying that square or that cube. So when we draw our hands, we want to taper that in some, right? So it's wider on the top than it is the bottom. Now, the other thing is we got to think about this arch that's happening. So we want to add an arch, right? Now I'm gonna put another one right beside it. Like that. So next, I want you to kind of think about dividing this hand in half, this base of the hand in half, right? Now the reason why I want you to do that is for your finger placement, right? So you look at your hand, if you cut it in half, if I cut it, my finger in half right there, like that, there's 2 fingers on this side and 2 fingers on that side. So when I'm drawing my fingers, I know that one's there, the other one's right there. There's 2 on that side, there, and then the last one, right? Now the other thing you got to think about when you're drawing a hand as well is this arching that's happening, right? So low, high, low, right? So when you're drawing the finger sections, you want to think about the arch that's happening. You just keep going up the same way. Now, one thing I don't know if you notice is actually we need to go like that. Really, this pinky should be smaller. So let's make that a little smaller. When I didn't get this arch to come down as much, like this. It will be more like that. Because that arch stretches down at the end towards the pinky. See how much further down the pinky is, the lines are. Now for the thumb, this is the inside of the hand. So we can just have it come off in this triangle, like so. You can also throw this little the lips in here to represent that. But it's coming off like that, and then you're doing a cylinder right there, and then just the top of the thumb. Right? And then you can do whatever lines in the hand you want to make. Now, the difference with the backside is you got to think about these knuckles and think about this shape that we made, that slope, right? So you want to add another arch right here. And this is where your knuckles will be. Right? Now, since it's coming out of this slope on this side, you need to go under here and draw the fingers coming out. So that's the difference with the backside. And everything else is the same. So the fingers are this first section of the fingers from the backside are going to be longer. So if you measure this from the knuckle to this knuckle, from the weapon to up there, see how much longer it is? So if you're drawing them from the backside, they're gonna be longer because you're seeing the part as it comes out, right? Now you still got your arch happening. Right. Now, the next difference is you look at your hand, this arch, now you can see the webbing of it. Right on this side, it's more like an arch unless you stretch your fingers out really wide like that, but it's more like an arch. But on this side, you can really see that it's actually webbing, so you can take this and kind of make it webbing. Right? Now the other difference is just the shape of this triangle. So see how it comes from the knuckle down? So you do this triangle more like this on this side. So this side is, more of this triangle. On this side is a slope down. And then the thumb comes off. And like that. Now, the other thing you want to think about is your wrist and attaching it, right? So you can just kind of do a circle here, like a little ellipse, I guess. Round it off and give you a line and have it come off like that, right? You just want to give yourself some room for this little section. Remember right here how this is higher, so it's just there's some space right there, some wiggle room. You can easily make this into as your Forearm is just another modified ellipse. All right, so that's the difference between the front and the back of the hand. Now next, we're just gonna take all these that we learned and use it to construct the hand. So I got my modified cube. Remember that we gotta put this little slope on it. And an arch on it, right? So that's my modified cube. Right? I'm gonna draw my little circle here. And then add my wrist, which is also just a modified ellipse. Right? So the more you learn how to modify these shapes, the better you are gonna get, or modify these forms, the better you're gonna be able to draw hands. Next, you got your fingers. So from this angle, this finger is gonna be kind of all the way over here. Now we always still want to be thinking about this halfway mark, right? So I'm always able to fit my fingers. Now, and you got your knuckle arch right there. So let me draw a finger out. This ellipse. Another finger coming out right here. Right? And the next one, I'm gonna put these fingers together, so have it like that. And then the pinky, just kind of let it be on its own program over here. Right? Now notice, still thinking about my arch. Now you wanna draw those ellipses connected. Right? Same thing with this one. Still thinking about my arch. So the last section. Right? And then now you have like just a rough hand structure. Right? Now you want to think about this. This covers up the webbing on this one. But you can kind of annotate it on how this finger is coming out. And then you can put your webbing right there. And I'm gonna erase a couple of these lines in here. And you're well on your way to a nice constructed hand. Now it'll just be you pushing the hand as far as you want, like how realistic you want to push it. but this is your base structure. Now, when you get this, when you get better at understanding, this information, you would, get much faster at doing this. And you would start to kind of learn how to shorthand it. So really, if I was just drawing this, it'll be more like I do it more like this. I don't have to be as detailed in my structure because I understand it. I don't have to draw everything because a lot of the drawing is just being done in my mind. Draw it like this. But you see how much faster you can do that structure. And I could do it faster than that, but the better you understand it, the quicker you'll be able to pump out a hand like that. Well, I hope that was helpful in helping you understand how to construct hands. So you can practice by just, finding different ways to construct a hand using that same information. So I hope this video helped you get some more insight about how to construct and build out a hand. Now, hands are a complex subject, so this is kind of only the tip of the iceberg of learning how to draw hands. So I will be doing more videos in the future if you guys would like me to go more in depth on how to draw hands. But please like and subscribe if you got some value out of this video today. And you can put some comments down like about what topics you would like me to talk about in the future, or if you want me to dive deeper into hands, if you have some questions about hands, I could, see if I can answer those questions for you. But until next time, I'm glad to be in your service, and peace.